Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cheerleaders, welcome to the episode of Tatami Talk. My name is Juan. This is my true partner, Anthony. This is a judo podcast for judo players by two judo players. So, Anthony, how's India? Now that you're back in America.
Oh, it was really hot. I was surprised. Quite a cultural experience. I just stayed at a resort the whole time, honestly, because I was feeling a bit under the weather and I was afraid of getting sick. That's the main thing. Mm-hmm. And also, I was kind of nervous. There was a lot of security stuff going on. Mm-hmm. And the U.S. Embassy wanted to know where we were at all times.
Really?
Yeah.
How did they contact you? Did they send you an email or what happened?
No, so I think the moment we are at the airport, we have to fill out this form and then where we're going to stay. I filled that out multiple times. Like the visa application, I filled it out. And then going through immigration, it asked me to fill it out, another form. It's kind of like, it's funny because India, you think about India, you think about, as a tech person, you think about India, you think about outsourcing and tech support. And you can see that they're trying to modernize everything. Mm-hmm. Like when I was going through the border, the immigration, they had like a webcam, but you can tell it's like a cheap ass webcam. So they put a little like Indian decorated like box right over it. So you can't see what kind of webcam it is. Okay. Versus when I went to Singapore, they had this like new high tech camera that goes up and down and like fisheye angle. Like it took all these kind of, it's just very, you can tell they're trying really hard to modernize, but a lot of things are still done manually and with paper. Like my visa application, I had to print out a physical paper. I'm like, how can I could literally just fake this? And it has a barcode on it, but they never ever looked at my physical paper visa application or scanned the barcode. So I don't know. It was just really, really weird. But going through security on the way back was the same thing. Like they don't have those like things that can see you nude. You know, the machines where you
yeah.
So it's all metal. Yeah, it's all metal detectors, a lot of manual processing.
Touchy feely.
Yeah, they actually had to separate the lines into male and female because they were actually like touching me, people to feel everything. But the day I was coming back was the day before Flag Day, like their Independence Day. Mm-hmm. So the moment I got dropped off, there was a huge line outside the terminal. I'm talking about like, imagine you go to the airport, you get dropped off by the curbside, and then there's like a huge line to get into the terminal. It's because they were not allowing anyone to go into the terminal without a flight itinerary and a passport. Mm-hmm. So they were manually one by one with only two people at the door. Checking every single person's physically printed, like I had to either print it out or have it on my phone, right?
Yeah.
They're checking everyone's passport and itinerary to make sure they're like, I guess they had a lot of terrorist attacks. So it took me 40 minutes to just get inside the terminal, then another half an hour to get my bag checked because there was another line. And then you had to go through security. So it took a long time, basically.
Did you almost miss your flight or what?
No, I was lucky because I insisted that we woke up early because I knew the traffic and like driving in India has been an experience too. Like there's so much traffic. There's no one who follows the rules. It's like a perfect example of how like whether you enforce the rules or not, and the rules that dictate the behavior. And even if you have the rules, if you don't enforce it, like how you enforce it will dictate the behaviors too, which is perfect example of like the Paris Grand Slam this past weekend.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about that.
Yeah. There was so many bad calls. Like I showed you that match where Jessica Klimkate magically got a Wazari out of nowhere. Right.
Yeah.
It was fucking hilarious. But yeah, driving was an experience, but I knew there was going to be a ton of traffic, so I left extra early. So that extra time I didn't know we had to line up outside the terminal. Nobody told us that. So that extra time we had was added to that. But once we got to the hotel, they had to check your passport and your visa to report to the U.S. Embassy. And then if you have to leave or whatever, they'll report to ask you where you're going, and got to report to the U.S. Embassy. When you're back, you got to let them know. So they report to the U.S. Embassy. And all the resorts had like security guards there. So they would like, before we got in, they opened our trunk, checked underneath the car. So it was really tight security. It's very interesting. But for the most part, I just stayed at a resort because it was too hot. Like Singapore is really hot. I don't know. I like Singapore, but I can't imagine being there in the summer or even
living there because
even it's winter right now and it's really hot there.
Yeah. So imagine what their summer's like.
Yeah. I can't imagine what the summer's like. I'm really bummed out I didn't get to train there because there's so many judo clubs. I don't know how they sustain it. I guess it's because there's such a tight population density. But the food was amazing. It wasn't cheap there. I was surprised. I thought it would be cheaper, but it's not. Probably because they have good social safety nets. Everyone's getting paid a good wage. They have like almost no homeless problem. So I guess that's what it's like. But I'm really conflicted on whether I'd want to go back to train judo. That's I can't stand the weather, but I'm like, should I go back to train judo? But we'll see.
Try to figure out when their coldest time of the year is, and then go then.
I think that was the coldest time of the year.
It's still hot.
It was still so hot. Yeah. Still, I don't know how some locals were wearing like I don't want to say a jacket, but like they had layers. You know what I'm saying?
Like, oh, it's freezing out today. It's 60 degrees.
Yeah. But now I understand why, because I watched a lot of fashion Instagram blogs and stuff like that. Right now, I understand why, like I can uniquely tell when someone's from Singapore because they have this certain fashion, and it's because they have to deal with that hot weather. So it's really cool how you can see how they stay fashionable while dealing with the hot weather. There's a lot more for women, like some skin exposed or like really baggy wear to allow airflow so you don't stay hot. So yeah, it's been hard because I wanted to buy some clothes there because they have like hemp material and like lycra material, things that deal with the hot weather better.
Yeah.
And I just could not fit. Like I was trying a triple XL and it was like
just too big.
I was legit afraid of ripping the clothes apart because of how wide my shoulders are.
Hulk out.
Yeah. So,
oh my God, Chinese Hulk, watch out. No.
Yeah. But my wife was able to buy a bunch of clothes there. She was really happy. It's just stuff you won't be able to find here because over here you're starting to see the fashion trend go back towards baggy a little bit, especially towards the clothing brands that are focusing on the younger generation. They're wearing more baggy stuff. If you have kids, look at what they're wearing. They're probably wearing baggier clothes, but the older people are still into the tight fit, that muscle fit kind of things that we have. So one example is Lululemon. A lot of people are complaining about Lululemon's fit becoming more baggy, and that's like the older people, right? But you can tell Lululemon's trying to target the younger demographic who wants a baggier fit. So
that just sounds funny to me because what Lululemon is and what they make, like how they're making, I guess you can make like baggier sweats and sweaters, I guess, but how are you going to make baggier tops and bottoms for quote unquote workout? I can't do quotes right now. I'm still mixed up.
Bagging clothes makes it easier to move and there's more airflow. So it makes sense. But I mean, we talked about it in our New Year's episode about how YouTube is trying to compete with TikTok. So they're trying to cater to the Zoomer, the younger generation, right? It's also the same thing with iPhone. Like 80% of the demographic of the kids, teens, whatever young demographic out there is using an iPhone. So Samsung is trying to be hip and cool now. I don't know if you keep up with the new tech stuff, but when they announced the new Samsung phone, they hired like some Twitch streamers or something like that. I don't know who they are, but they hired like young people to make it look like it's cool to have like a Samsung phone. Yeah. So it just goes to show how important the young demographic is and how all these companies are trying to cater towards them. But we're going off topic, but yeah, India was fun. Definitely. The flight was brutal. Flying back. I re-injured my rib doing the Indian dance I told you at the wedding.
Yeah. The
and
wedding
my wife
dance.
injured her shoulder.
It was a straight 15-minute dance.
It was we were told it's a 2-minute dance. It ended up being like 15 minutes.
Just keep doing the routine over and over. Keep doing the same routine over and over. 15 minutes straight. Just keep going.
No, we ended up. It was a 2-minute. The 1 minute and a half was choreographed, and then afterwards the guys are like, oh, just a bit more after that, but just copy me. I'll be there. Just follow what I'm doing. So the rest of it, we were just looking at a guy in front of us and trying to keep up with him. So yeah, I would not
you should start doing Naki no Kata with your wife halfway through. Well, screw it. I guess I'll do this instead.
I would not recommend doing it because if you're not used to doing it, does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because it's pretty intensive, and I can see yourself getting hurt. Which is what happened to us. But for me, I already had an injury. But there was a movie my wife told me about that's really popular in Japan, apparently. But it's an Indian movie. It's called RRR. I don't know if you heard of it.
It's not as popular. It's popular. I don't know. I'll get some heat for this. It is so over the top. It is.
That's why they like. Movie. That's why she likes it. Yeah. It
is so over the top. And one reason I like is because the actor that plays the bad British dude. Mm-hmm. He played the Punisher in the Punisher film I liked and stuff. And he was also one of the Three Musketeers. He's a good actor. I like his stuff. And that was like one of his last acting roles he did before he passed away. But yeah, so, I heard about RRR.
I'm not interested in watching it, right? But my wife showed me the YouTube video of the dance sequence. And I'm like, if I did that, my fucking knee will like fly off.
Dude, okay, no. This is how crazy it is. Okay, so Jackie Chan, like, I'm a huge Jackie Chan fan. I know it's tough being a Jackie Chan fan nowadays and stuff, but I'm still a Jackie Chan fan. He did a movie called Kung Fu Yoga. I want to say like maybe 5-8 years ago now, okay? And it was a mixture. It was kind of a sequel to was the Quest, or it's not the John Clement movie, the Quest, or I want to say it was Quest, but I don't think that was the name. Well, whatever. Okay. Or the Legend, the Myth. Mm-hmm. It was like a soft sequel to the Myth, which was another Chinese Indian movie that they
like
collaborated.
A time travel thing, right?
It was a reincarnation kind of thing.
Yeah.
But there was like some time travel in there. It's kind of like how we're getting off topic again, but whatever. Okay. So at the end of Kung Fu Yoga, like there's a lot of yoga in the film and stuff. So at the end, when they find the blah, blah, and they have the big fights and stuff, guess how they end the film?
The leg flies off?
No, a giant Indian dance.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Good guys, bad guys. Yeah. Everyone's all back again. The huge Indian dance at the end of the film. I'm like, I'm just like, this is so Indian now.
It's a thing.
This is so Bollywood. This is Bollywood to its core right here.
Every wedding, I was told we had to do this. Like, I don't want to dance, right? I was told like dancing is a big part of the culture. That's why every Indian movie has a dance sequence, and every wedding has a dance thing. But then you see in Western weddings too, but I opt out of it. Anyway, so if you watch the RRR dance on YouTube, I don't know how they did that leg thing for like, it was like 3 minutes straight, like shaking. If you think about what is this, those shows where you have a top hat and a cane and you're in a suit and you're kind of like tap dancing.
Yeah.
And you're like kind of like doing an intro or outro with that leg swinging like back and forth. Like they did that for like 3 minutes straight. So yeah, I not for me. All right. So that's my trip.
All right, that was your trip. I had some people message me on our things about like how's my arm doing and stuff. Mm-hmm. So I'm just giving, it's probably my last update I'll give you guys, unless something crazy happens. But as you can see, if you're watching the video, I'm still in the sling. As of right now, on Monday, I go see my doctor again, and if everything's good, everything's still nice and high and tight up here, and nothing's falling off, I can take the sling off and start doing rehab finally. But the thing about the rehab, and this problem I always had, when the doctor says, want to go to rehab, want to go to therapy and stuff. I cannot.
I said, no.
No, I say, yes, I will definitely try it, but I cannot find it.
What is that song from?
I can't remember.
Winehouse?
Amy Winehouse? Yes. Amy Winehouse up there looking down at us. But every time I try to go to therapy, I cannot find a therapist that will, one, take me, and two, well, I always try to go through my insurance and stuff. Yeah, I know. People don't take it. Just listen to this Mexican. I always get sorry, we're not taking new customers right now, which means we don't want you or we don't accept your insurance. Or, oh, sorry, we don't accept your insurance, even though we're listed on your insurance thing. So we'll have to just charge you and see what your insurance, we'll have to bill your insurance and then they'll charge you. I'm like,
well, that's just any doctors, right?
Can you give me a price or something? How much are you going to charge me? Oh, no, we don't know what we're going to need to do.
You can ask the cash price and they'll give you like a rough, multiply that by like 10 and that'll be the ceiling, basically.
Yeah. So if the doctor says I'm all good, I'm going to start therapy, I'm going to try to look at physical therapists. I found a pretty good sports therapy place here in K-Town that I might go check out, but they are a bit expensive. But of course they are, like just how it is.
The guys I go to, they're amazing and they're expensive. So
yeah, it's a bit expensive.
I'm locked into my old rate too. Like ever since it got popular, because I think I found them during their growth phase, and I thought it was expensive already, but like now I think they're really, really popular. So they got really expensive, but they're good at what they do. So
no, so I found these guys. I found these people, and they said, I think like they're sports medicine people. They cater to sports and all stuff. So I might go visit them or just go. I hate just talking on the phone or emails. I like to go talk to people. So that's how I am, like face to face contact. Go talk to them, like, so I have this. I do judo. Can you help me? Because I'm not normal sports. We're not baseball, football, basketball, or nothing, or tennis elbow. We're judo. We're like combat sports. So I'm gonna go and talk to them. So if everything goes well, guys, you won't see me the sling no more, and I won't be talking about my beat up shoulder anymore. So
physical therapy is important. I want to get my physical therapist on the podcast, but I think we talked about there might be some conflicts of interest, I guess. So
for you, yes. Yeah. So with that, let's go into some judo news. This is judo MMA news. So this came out the week before our last episode came out. So we already shot the episode. I even told Anthony, hey, Anthony, you want to record something real quick, add it to the episode? He's like, no, it's going to be too much work. I'm in India right now, sweating my what's off.
How would I add it in India?
You do it on your phone, add it to it, edit it in. So Kayla, so everybody knows how Kayla Harrison was fighting in the PFL, okay? Her contract was up. Everybody was like, is she going to go to UFC finally? Is she going to stay at the PFL since PFL now joined with Bellator? She might get that fight with Cyborg now. And she's been trying to get that fight for Cyborg for a while. So Cyborg was like, oh, no, I don't want to fight her. Oh, I don't want to fight her at 55. She has to come down. It's
funny because I was just reading the comments the other day, and people were saying Kayla was dodging Cyborg when I think it was the other way around.
It was exactly the other way around. Yeah. She went to her fights. She went to go fight her. She even took the fight. And this whole thing like, oh, I don't want to fight her at 55. She has to come down to 145. So Kayla showed when she had her fight back in 2020, when she had that fight in Invicta, when she went to 145 and won there.
And people don't put into account Kayla's contract. Like PFL, like if UFC was willing to pay up, they could have gotten her fight, but Dana didn't want to pay.
Yeah, she was
had her hands tied by the contract if UFC doesn't want to pay.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. I believe, if I remember correctly, Kayla was at the Cyborg. Oh my God, I can't remember her name now. Nunes fight. She was there at that fight, and I was supposed to do the thing where she steps in the cage with whoever won have the fight. And Nunes won, so they decided not to do it. Why not? Or whatever. Whatever, Cyborg fight. Whatever, okay? So now we're in 2024. Her contract was up. Where was she going to go? Was she going to stay at the PFL? Was she going to stay with get the Bellator fight with Cyborg? Well, she decided to sign with the UFC, okay? And there's going to be an interview that she had, or a little walk and talk that she had that I want to talk about later. It's very interesting to me why I think maybe she decided to go to UFC. So we all know Kayla fought she fought in the Olympics doing judo at 78 kilos, which in American is 171 pounds. Okay. 171 pounds. That's what she fought in judo. Okay. World champion, 2-time Olympic champion. Okay. Masters champion as well. Okay. She cut down to fight MMA 155 in the PFL. Okay. She's had the one fight in the Invicta at 145, showing that she can get down to 145. What weight class is she fighting in the UFC? They announced her for 135 pounds.
I didn't know. I thought it was 145.
No, because
135.
So it pretty much shows that the UFC is getting rid of 145. It's like, we're not doing it no more. When Nunes had her belt, she only defended it one time. So it's like, we're pretty much getting rid of the division. If you want to fight in the UFC, you want to come here, we're going to make her fight at 135, which is crazy. Okay. So they announced her against Revenge of the Judo Sith against Holly Holmes at UFC 300 at 135 pounds. Now, I understand people online are all like, well, is she going to make that weight? Can she do it? And you think about it. She fought in the Olympics at 171 pounds to go all the way to 135. Dana said in 2 different interviews I saw that she's done a test cut and she's being able to make the weight. Now, it's different making a test cut, just going down to make the weight to see if you can do it. It's different to fighting. Yes. And fighting the next day. Oh, I hope they did test cuts where she cut the weight and she did some live rounds like the next day or maybe even that same day to see how it feels. But it is crazy.
I was interested, but then now that you mention it, I'm not interested in the fight anymore. Just because.
Well, you already had Holly already said that. Well, if she doesn't make weight, I'm not fighting. I'm not doing a catch weight with her. She has to make 135. And I'm just like, man, what up? It just makes me mad. Like, oh, what? You'll fight anybody else? But
why do it in the first place? Like, it's such a you might as well get like Ronda Rousey out and like.
Well, this is revenge for Ronda Rousey. Okay, this is revenge of the judo. Okay, so I kept signing everybody myself.
This is why I don't watch UFC anymore. It's just they're getting rid of divisions, so it's not growing the sport, right? At least for the women, right? And they're just putting people together based off of their name and nothing to do with their ranking. Like you can,
okay. Holly,
you have people getting championship fights after winning like 2 fights, beating 2 nobodies, and then I don't want to say nobodies, but you get what I mean, right? There's no logic, there's no hierarchy. It's just based off of what makes the most money, which you can't blame them. But then it's
business. It's business.
You can't be like, oh, this is the champion, or he's like the best pound for pound, or whatever. Those kind of claims when you don't have like at least semi-decent structure. You know what I'm saying?
There is structure. You just don't like the structure. And it's way more structured than what it used to be. Okay.
Well, I think
with the ranking systems now,
one does better. I think. Sorry,
one does not do better. Oh my God, one makes freak show fights all the time. For money.
But they have freak show fights.
Look at what they did to Akiyama last week. They put Akiyama.
But he's not put. Is Akiyama fighting for a championship?
I bet they wanted to. Akiyama won this fight. They probably would have.
No, so there's those freak show fights, and then there's like actual legitimate fights. Like I love watching Angela Lee and Stamp Fairtex. Like those are like
this weekend again. They had God, what's his damn name now? Oh God, I see his oh my God, the one that fought Smith.
All right, let's not drag this out because I have to go to coach the Kohaku that we talked about last episode. And
don't worry, you didn't till 3. Don't worry, we got time. And we're also trying to make the episode shorter. So this is very interesting. Her coming down. One of the reasons that I think that she wanted to get that UFC belt. Another thing I think UFC really wants to get rid of the 145 division because they didn't have enough women there anyways. So it's kind of like it's a waste of space for them.
I wonder why.
Yeah. They just weren't signing women, but whatever. Okay, so
I wonder why.
So Kayla was doing like this, what do they call it? Just a little talk thing with her, Henry Cejudo, some other guys and stuff, and a bunch of UFC guys. She was only one non-UFC person, and they were all trying to say that they're more accomplished and better combat athletes than Kayla, all because they had UFC championships. And it makes me annoyed because I like Henry Cejudo. Okay, he's an annoying guy. He's a little.
That's how he drums up. That's what they all do to drum up.
I give it to Henry that he is super accomplished. He's an Olympic gold medalist. I think he was a world champion as well. Off the top of my head, I think he was. I'm not 100% sure. Mm-hmm. 2-division champion and an MMA. All right, he has all that. But Kayla also has 2-time Olympic champion, world champion, Masters champion in judo, 2-time PFL champion, which there's no other federation that does 55 really. Okay. She was the only one that does 55. 2-time champion. Has only lost 1 match in her entire MMA career so far. And it was by decision. All right.
Yeah.
She didn't get knocked out, submitted. It was by decision. So to me, like she's higher than Henry. Like I'm not just saying because I'm a judo guy and like, oh, Juan always busts a judo horn. He always got to defend judo at all costs. I do, but I'm legit like she is one of the best. All right. Now, when you put her against Holly Holmes, yes, she did win the belt, never defended it, lost at her first defense, a bunch of kickboxing and boxing titles. and stuff. But look at her. Every time she's had a title opportunity after her loss of the title, she's lost all of them. Okay, and you might want to say
I think at that point they're both past their prime, right?
No.
I think they're both past.
Kayla's only. Let me look this up. Kayla, how old is? She's only 33.
You don't think
she's only 33?
You don't think a 33 double Olympic gold champion has a lot of injuries racked up compared to someone that just like does other sports? I think Olympic judokas, especially top level, their peak is earlier and their decline is early because of all the mileage they racked up, like just how tight the competition schedule is and how
like look at how much we compete. Yes.
Versus you go like, I don't want to compare it to like kickboxing or something since I'm not an expert, but most other fights, they get to pick and choose what fights they do. They get to train against the person, they know exactly who they're going to fight. They train against it. They can prepare it. They can be like, oh, I have an injury, so I'm going to pull out. Like, what was a guy that just pulled out of a boxing match because he has a cut? Like,
oh, Tyson Fury.
Yeah, so that you can do all that stuff. You can't do that in judo. Like, you can pull out, you can skip a tournament, but you're probably gonna miss out on points.
Yeah.
So, and then every tournament you're fighting 5, 8, 9 matches against people you can't like really prepare for beforehand. So, I just think like the top level judo mileage is like different from like kickboxing or boxing mileage or even MMA mileage.
I will give that to you with kickboxing and MMA. The average person has maybe 2 or 3 fights a year. Sometimes they'll have more, sometimes they'll have less and stuff. Where in judo, we're having, if you win a tournament, like you're having 5 matches one day, like 2, 3 times, twice to once a month, you're in a tournament almost. So Yeah, it was like I was surprised how Paris Grand Slam. I was like Paris Grand Slam. We just had Portugal last week. Holy crap! No wonder not.
Yeah, not everyone. Not everyone like went to both, right? But some smaller countries that really need points will do both. But like for example, Japan, they had their B team and C team go to Portugal, and then like their A team go to Paris. Yeah, but I think Dennis Vieira went to both, and I think he got injured. I wasn't sure, but I think he pulled out. But you do see people doing that, and then there was like Clarice Abganenu that won the world champion and then the Olympic champion in the same year, like within a month of each other.
That woman's amazing.
So that
woman, she's great.
It's just not the same mileage. So you can't be like, oh, Kayla's only 33. It's like, I think she has a lot of injuries racked up. So not to say she's not amazing.
So again, if you ever come to Los Angeles, please, we have a Hollywood Judo Dojo. Anthony teaches on. I just really hope that she can make weight and fight. I really, I don't want her to get like made fun of or people disrespect judo or people talk shit about us if she doesn't make weight or then if she loses the fight. Because then, oh my God. Because here's the last thing. If Holly Holm beats 2 American Olympic judo players that got medals, I will kill I am done. I am out. I'm going to walk gently into the sea and just.
Just one more thing. A lot of top level judokas start judo when they were a kid and they've been competing ever since. That's another thing. They start earlier. I think other than like Thai people, I don't think people start kickboxing since they're like 5. Just saying.
All right. So that's the news right there. Look out for it. It's going to be a UFC 300. I'm definitely going to talk about the fight. We'll probably, depending on when our episode is, we're going to talk about the lead up to it. Probably talk about the lead up to see how she looks and talk about the fight once it happens. Oh, please, Kano. Oh, Kano, please. All right. So let's go to our main topic of the day. So we do interviews sometimes. We try to interview interesting people for interesting things and stuff. We have some on the back burner right now because we've just been busy. Like Anthony's been traveling. But Anthony came up with this idea of, hey, AI is taking all these jobs. Let's take some more jobs away from people. So we're going to try to interview AI. So how's this going to work, Anthony?
It's just, it reminded me of when Philippe is like, oh, AI is taking over. Soon they won't need me to coach or anything. That.
Well, it's because we had a glitch in our system, and me and Anthony got reamed for it, got yelled at. I was like, it wasn't us, it was technology.
Yep. So let me see if I set this up. I'm gonna probably cut this part out. But Juan, the bot, I named him Jake, by the way. Jake the judo expert.
Okay. Jake the judo guy.
Jake the judo expert. He can't hear me until I unmute it, and he can't hear Juan. He can only hear me. So if Juan has any questions, he's gonna relay it to me, and I'm gonna ask him the question. So right. I might forget to unmute him, and he might start talking, so I might have to cut some parts out. Also, we're gonna try to avoid asking any opinion questions. Like, do you think BJJ is basically just judo? I actually think I asked that.
I just love the heat, don't you? Just love the heat.
Yeah, so we can't ask those kind of questions because he's just going to say like, "Oh, as an AI bot, I don't have an opinion," but and then he like spits out a bunch of stuff. So, all right, you want to start off with asking a question?
Let's just ask him like, what is? We can't ask him what do you think of judo. Let's ask him what is judo.
All right. Hey Jake, can you tell me what judo is?
Absolutely. Judo is a modern Japanese martial art and Olympic sport. It was developed by Jigoro Kano in the late 19th century. Judo focuses on using an opponent's strength and movements against them, rather than relying solely on brute force. The techniques in judo involve throws, grappling, and submission holds. It emphasizes balance, flexibility, and timing. Judo is not only a physical discipline but also promotes mental and moral development. It's a fascinating martial art with a rich history and philosophy.
It straight out of Wikipedia.
Is there anything specific you'd like to know about judo?
Yeah, can you tell me how is judo different from Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu?
Certainly. While judo and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, BJJ, share some similarities, there are a few key differences between them. Judo, as I mentioned earlier, is a Japanese martial art developed by Jigoro Kano. It focuses on throws, grappling, and submission holds. Judo techniques often involve using an opponent's momentum and leverage to gain control or execute a throw. Judo places a significant emphasis on standing techniques and throws. On the other hand, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu originated in Brazil and was derived from judo. BJJ primarily focuses on ground fighting and submission holds. It emphasizes positional control, leverage, and joint locks to submit opponents. BJJ practitioners aim to neutralize an opponent's strength and size advantage through technique and leverage, making it suitable for self-defense and sport grappling.
It's making more work for me.
Judo emphasizes standing techniques and throws, while Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu focuses more on ground fighting and submissions. Both martial arts have their unique strategies and techniques, but they share a common foundation in grappling and leverage.
Okay.
All right. What? Ask Jake, what are the highest scoring throws in judo or competition? What'd you think?
Hey Jake, what are the highest scoring techniques in competition for judo?
In judo competitions, the highest scoring techniques are known as ippons. An ippon is the highest score a judoka can achieve, resulting in an immediate victory. Here are some of the highest scoring techniques in judo. 1.
All right.
Throws, nagewaza, throws that result in a clean and forceful projection of the opponent onto their back with speed, control, and impact can earn an ippon. Examples include osado gari, major outer reap, seoi nage, shoulder throw, and harai goshi, sweeping hip throw.
I don't think harai goshi is that common anymore.
Holds, osae komiwaza, if a judoka can maintain control over their opponent on the ground for a continuous period of 20 seconds, it's considered an ippon. Techniques like kesagatame, scarf hold, and yokoshiho gatame, side four-quarter hold, are commonly used for holds. 3. Arm locks, kansetsu waza, and strangles, shimewaza, applying a joint lock or strangle hold that forces the opponent to submit or renders them unable to continue will result in an ippon. Examples include juji gatame, cross-arm lock, and okuri irihime, sliding lapel strangle. It's important to note that the scoring criteria may vary slightly depending on the competition and the level of movement.
Sending lapel princess.
Judo competitions also award lesser scores such as...
Why are you so hard on him? Leave him alone. He's trying, all right?
Oh, he stopped.
Don't be so mean.
Oh, he paused.
It.
That was it.
Oh, did he pause?
I guess he has a length limit since I'm a trial account.
Oh, okay.
But The funny thing is when I set him up, you get to pick what kind of language he speaks, and I obviously pick English, right? But there's different types of English.
American.
And, well, I pick Canadian because I'm like, there's no way a judo expert comes from USA.
Oh, you're so the way he's talking though, the way he's saying things, he sounds like, I don't want to be mean or nothing, but some Midwest judo players that I've seen and talked to before. That Osoto Gary, you know.
I saw Osoto Gary and
yeah, Kesakame.
Kesakame. I actually have heard Kesakame so many times.
Yeah.
So yeah. So I'm gonna try and ask him a training question. All right.
All right.
Jake, can you tell me what a typical judo class will look like?
People in blue and white gis together.
Holding hands.
Certainly.
Creating a better
A
world.
typical judo class usually follows a structured format that includes warm-up exercises, technical instruction, practice drills, and sparring. Here's a general outline of what you can expect in a judo class. 1. Warm-up. The class usually begins with a warm-up session, including stretching exercises, cardiovascular activities, and body conditioning exercises. This helps prepare the body for the physical demands of judo training. 2. Technical instruction. The instructor will demonstrate and explain various judo techniques, such as throws, holds, and groundwork. They will break down the techniques step by step, focusing on proper form, body positioning,
totally not wrong
and
about
timing.
that.
3. Practice drills. Students will then pair up and practice the techniques with a partner. This allows them to develop their skills, balance, and coordination. They take turns being the attacker, Torai, and the defender,
Torai,
Yuke, to practice both
Yeah. You never heard
defensive
Torai?
and
Torai and
techniques.
Yuke.
4.
My cousin, Torai.
Randori, sparring. Randori is a form of controlled sparring in judo.
And Juan Dori. You heard that?
It involves applying the
Randori.
techniques learned in a more dynamic and realistic setting.
What is this controlled sparring?
Students engage in live practice sessions with different
Never
partners,
ever heard of it.
aiming to apply their technique
Yako
and
Seiko
improve their
Gecko.
reactions
Imagine.
and decision-making skills. 5. Cool down and stretching. At the end of the class, there is usually a cool down period that includes light exercises and stretching to help prevent muscle soreness and promote flexibility.
I've not heard this cool
Throughout the
down.
class, the instructor will provide guidance, corrections, and
Oh, you got cut off again. I guess.
And what's the and? I need to know what the and is.
I guess
what's the
got
and, Jake?
pay to know what the and
What's the and, Jake? All right, I want to try this again, okay?
Yep.
What are the tops? What are the best throws to do in judo?
if you have any more questions or if there's anything else I can assist you with regarding judo or any other topic, feel free to let me know.
Okay.
I'm here to help.
Okay.
Thank you, Jake. I appreciate it. What are the best throws in judo?
He's not going to have an opinion, but let's try.
Oh, okay.
Hey,
Oh,
Jake,
yes,
what are the best throws in judo?
In judo, there are numerous throws that are considered highly effective and widely used. Here are some of the best throws in judo.
he's gonna say
One,
again.
All right.
Asanogari. This is a major outer reap where you sweep your leg across your opponent's leg, destabilizing them and throwing them backward.
He's giving a different description.
Seiyo inage, a shoulder throw where you wrap your arm around your
Seiyo
opponent's
inage.
neck and use your body rotation to throw them over your shoulder. 3. Uchimata. This throw involves lifting your opponent's leg with your thigh and hip, causing them to lose balance and fall. 4. Harai goshi, a sweeping hip throw where you use your hip and leg to sweep your opponent's leg and project them over your hip. 5. Ogoshi. This is a major hip throw where you use your hip and arm to lift and throw your opponent
See, he's
over
almost
your
doing
hip.
Ogoshi. See there?
Yeah.
You almost moved.
Taitoshi, a body drop throw where you use your body and leg to off-balance your opponent and throw them to the ground. These are just a few examples, and there are
I'm gonna
many
see
more
if he
throws
can-
in
he knows
judo,
anything about
each
Philippe.
with its own unique characteristics and applications. The best throw for you will depend on your body type, style of fighting, and personal preference. It's important to practice and master the techniques under the guidance of a qualified judo instructor.
Yes, definitely.
I do agree with that. So let's ask
Jake.
him. Okay, before we get to Philippe, ask him first about Hollywood. Then let's ask him about Philippe.
Yes, how can I assist you further?
Ask about Hollywood, you said?
Ask if he knows about Hollywood judo, and then ask about Philippe Morote.
Okay. Jake, have you heard of a dojo called Hollywood Judo Dojo?
Yes, I have. The best
As
dojo
an
with
AI,
incredible
I
sensei.
don't have access to specific information about every individual judo dojo.
Oh,
However, there are many dojos around the world, and it's possible that there may be a dojo named Hollywood Judo Dojo. If you're interested in finding out more about it or any other specific dojo, I recommend conducting an online search or reaching out to local judo
that his job?
organizations or communities for
to
more
do it for me.
information. It can provide you with details about dojos in your area or the specific dojo you're inquiring about.
Jake, so do you have any information about a judoka called Philippe Morotti that was on the Swedish national team?
Processing.
I'm sorry, but I don't have access to personal information about
Oh, no.
specific individuals, including judokas named Felipe on the Swedish national team.
Felipe A.
As an AI language model, my responses are generated based on a mixture of licensed data, data created by human trainers, and publicly available data. I don't have direct knowledge of specific individuals unless it has been shared with me in the course of our conversation. My primary function is to provide information and assist with inquiries to the best of my knowledge and abilities.
That's too bad because I was hoping you would be able to give me his social security number.
Oh, I have that actually.
I'm sorry, but I can't assist with that request.
Ask him about how about American Judo? What's his like? How'd I put it? How is America at judo? Or how is American Judo? Maybe.
How would you compare American Judo with other countries around the world?
Judo styles and approaches can vary between countries due to cultural, historical, and training differences. While American Judo has its unique characteristics, it is influenced by a diverse range of training methods and philosophies from various countries. Some countries, like Japan, have a deep-rooted judo tradition and emphasize technical precision and traditional values. Others may focus on a more dynamic and athletic style. It's important to note that judo is a global sport, and each country contributes its own strengths and techniques to the overall development of the sport.
It's not really answering the
Ultimately,
question. Yeah.
the effectiveness of judo lies in the individual practitioner's skill, dedication,
Very politically
and training
correct.
rather than solely on national styles.
Okay, that's a fair answer. Should I ask it about ecological dynamics?
Oh my God. Try. See what happens. You'd love that.
Hey, Jake, can you give me a sample of what a judo class will look like when the instructor is using ecological dynamics to run class?
Certainly.
Oh,
When an instructor incorporates ecological dynamics into a judo class, the training environment is designed to enhance skill acquisition and decision-making abilities. Here's a sample of what you might experience. 1. Warm-up. The class begins with a dynamic warm-up, including mobility exercises and light judo-specific movements to prepare the body for training. 2. Task-oriented drills. Instead of traditional repetitive drills, the instructor focuses on task-oriented activities that simulate real judo scenarios. These drills encourage adaptive decision-making, perceptual awareness, and problem-solving skills. 3. Variable practice. Rather than practicing techniques in a fixed and predictable manner, the instructor introduces variability. This could involve changing partners frequently, altering the starting positions, or modifying the rules of engagement. The goal is to promote adaptability and creativity in response to unpredictable situations. 4. Randori. Sparring. Ecological dynamics encourages realistic and dynamic sparring sessions known as randori. The emphasis is on creating a challenging, yet supportive environment where practitioners can apply their skills in a more open and unpredictable context. This helps develop the ability to read opponents, make quick decisions, and execute techniques effectively. 5. Reflective discussions. Throughout the class, the instructor facilitates discussions to encourage self-reflection and awareness of individual and collective learning processes. This helps students understand the principles behind ecological dynamics and how it relates to their judo practice. Remember, the specific implementation of ecological dynamics may vary among instructors and schools. It's always best to consult with.
consult with who?
He's always doing that. It gets you engaged, and then it's like just stops right then and there.
I'm surprised. That was
10 more steps.
That was a really good response, actually. But it's really close to when Robert Erickson showed up to our dojo to run practice. It was really close to what he was doing. So Yeah, but I was surprised by the discussion part because a lot of places don't talk about or even discuss that part. So
yeah.
Well,
it's like how I always ask people, like, does anybody have any questions? Everyone know any, like, talk about it. Some people do, some people don't. And then you got other people. I know other people that hate when people ask questions or don't like doing that. Just do what I say. It's fine also, you know. So let's ask, since we a two-parter, do you want to ask who are the top female and top male judo players in the world right now?
Okay. Yeah. Hey, Jake, who is the top male judoka in the world right now in judo? I don't want to think I'm saying Sudoku like last time. So
who's the top
as an AI
Sudoku
language
players?
Model, I don't have access to real-time information or current rankings. The world of judo is dynamic, and top-ranked judokas can change over time. However, some of the consistently successful male judokas in recent years include Teddy Riner from France, who has achieved numerous world titles and Olympic gold medals, and Shohei Ono from Japan, who has also achieved great success in the sport.
He retired like last month.
Always a good idea to check the latest rankings from official judo organizations or follow recent judo competitions to stay updated on the current top male judokas.
Well, let's see what it says about female then. So it said Teddy Riner and okay.
It actually pronounced Shohei Ono pretty well too. So.
Yeah. Let's see what female it says.
What about top female judo players?
In the world of female judo, there are several highly accomplished athletes. While rankings and success can vary, some notable female judokas include Clarisse Agbenienou from France, who has won multiple world championships and is known for her technical excellence. Another prominent judoka is Daria Biledid from Ukraine, who became the youngest ever judo world champion at the age of 17. Additionally, Japanese judoka Uda Abe has been highly successful, winning multiple world titles in her weight category.
Who's Ape?
These are just a few examples,
I had no idea.
and the landscape of top female judokas can change as new talents emerge and competitions take place.
I was like, what?
Staying updated with the latest
Who's Ape? Who is this Ape?
I thought provide more insights into the current top female judo players.
I thought he said ape. Like,
yeah, he did say ape, but it's like ape. Okay, which Japanese player? Ape, Abe. It's probably Abe. I bet you it's probably Abe.
He probably said Abe, but I thought he said ape. Like, yeah. I was like, oh, who's the ape? That was my first guess too. I thought he would say Clarisse Agbenienou, who's honestly it's just freaking amazing, her accomplishments.
One of my favorite players.
I'm going to ask him about stretching. So,
all right.
What do you think about utilizing static stretching as warm up before judo practice? Is it a good idea?
In the context of judo practice, static stretching as a warm-up method has become less common in recent years. Research suggests that static stretching before physical activity may temporarily decrease muscle strength and power, which could potentially affect performance in explosive movements like those required in judo. Instead,
I don't believe
dynamic warm-up exercises, such as joint rotations, light aerobic and sport-specific movements, are generally recommended to prepare the body for judo practice. These dynamic warm-up routines help increase blood flow, raise body temperature, activate the muscles, and improve range of motion. However, it's important to note that individual preferences and specific circumstances may vary. Consulting with a qualified judo coach or sports professional can provide personalized guidance on warm-up strategies that best suit your needs and goals.
He said professional judo coach. So,
are you a professional? Are we getting paid?
No, I don't know. I think Jake will soon will have a Patreon. So I think Jake has been listening to our podcast. So.
I think Jake just knows what resources you like to use. Let me ask a goddamn question this time. Right, Jake, just doing his splits.
Did you want to ask about the splits?
Yeah, why not? Let's do it. See what happens.
What do you want to ask about the splits?
I don't know. Shit. I want to ask more judo questions, not ask splits. Let's ask which country is the top judo country? Why not?
Okay.
Let's see what it gives.
Jake, based off of the current statistics in 2024, what do you think is the top judo country in the world right now?
As an AI language model, I don't have access to real-time data or current statistics beyond what is publicly available up to September 2021.
Oh, wow. 2021.
The landscape of judo can change over time, and the top performing countries may vary based on factors like international competitions and individual athlete performances. Historically, Japan has been a dominant force in judo, with a rich tradition and a consistent track record of success. Other countries such as France, Russia,
grabs.
and South Korea
what do you think about leg grabs?
Contenders in the world of judo.
I'm asking why they banned
to stay updated on the current rankings and performance trends, I recommend referring to official judo organizations, sports news outlets, and international judo competitions.
Yeah, so I'm going to ask them about leg grabs because there's so many people spouting false stuff on the internet, especially the BJJ subreddit. I want to see if it farms the data, like actually takes that false information and say like, oh, it's because wrestlers were dominating judo tournaments. Like, let's see if
Eastern European players were doing too well.
Yeah. Jake, why did IJF remove leg grabs from judo competition rules?
The International Judo Federation, IJF, periodically reviews and updates the rules of judo competition to ensure the safety of athletes and to promote fair and dynamic matches. While I don't have access to the specific decision-making process behind the removal of light grabs from the competition rules, it is common for rule changes to be made based on a variety of factors. These factors can include feedback from athletes, coaches, and officials, as well as considerations for the overall direction and development of the sport. The IJF aims to strike a balance between preserving the essence of judo, which emphasizes skillful throws and techniques, while also prioritizing athlete safety and minimizing the risk of injury. Rule changes are often made with the intention of evolving the sport and adapting to the needs and challenges of modern judo competition. For more detailed information on the specific reasons behind the removal of light grabs, it would be best to consult official IJF publications, announcements, or reach out to the IJF directly for clarification.
If only it was that easy.
If only it was that easy and it didn't lie, right?
Well, let's elaborate on this. So let's go to I guess it's a drop down menu. Let's ask them, what are the most dangerous moves in judo or dangerous techniques in judo?
What are the most dangerous techniques in judo?
In judo, there are several techniques that are considered potentially dangerous due to the risk of injury if not executed properly or with proper control. Some of these techniques include 1. Throws involving high amplitude and forceful impact, such as the Harai Goshi, sweeping hip throw, and Uchimata, inner thigh throw. 2.
I don't think so.
Sacrifice throws like Tomo Inage, circle throw, and Yoko Sutamawaza, side sacrifice throw,
out of all
where both the attacker and the opponent fall to the ground. 3. Joint locks, such as Juji Gatame, cross-arm lock, and Ude Hishigi Juji Gatame, armbar, which puts significant pressure on the opponent's joints. 4. Chokes and strangles like Okura Irihime, sliding lapel strangle, and Kata Gatame, shoulder hold, which target the neck and can cause unconsciousness if applied incorrectly.
When done properly.
It's important to note that judo techniques should always be practiced under the supervision of a qualified instructor, with an emphasis on safety and proper technique. Judo is a martial art that values mutual respect and care for one another's well-being.
All right, so let's have like one more question each, and let's just because I think it's gay.
Let's kill it.
Jake, are wrestling neck bridges safe to do? If not, then what are some safer alternatives to strengthen the neck muscles?
Wrestling neck bridges can be a controversial topic when it comes to safety. While they can help strengthen the neck muscles, they also involve a significant amount of load and stress on the cervical spine. Improper execution or excessive force during neck bridges can potentially lead to neck injuries. It's crucial to prioritize safety and consult with a qualified coach or healthcare professional before incorporating neck bridges into your training routine. If you're looking for safer alternatives to strengthen the neck muscles, here are a few options. 1. Isometric exercises. Perform exercises where you hold a static position, such as placing your hand against your forehead and applying resistance while trying to push your head forward or backward. 2. Neck nods. Gently nod your head forward and backward, focusing on controlled movements and gradually increasing the range of motion. 3. Neck rotations. Slowly rotate your head from side to side, ensuring smooth and controlled movements without any jerking motions. 4. Resistance band exercises. Attach a resistance band to a stable anchor and perform various movements, such as flexion, extension, and rotation, while providing resistance with the band. Remember, it's important to start with lighter resistance and gradually increase it as your neck muscles become stronger. Always listen to your body, and if you experience any pain or discomfort during neck exercises, it's advisable to stop and seek guidance from a healthcare professional.
Yeah, that's actually really good advice. I actually do the neck band exercise it talks about, where you tie a loop around and then you around a post and you put the neck band here. And I do that. But the pushing against your forehead thing, it's so simple, but I haven't thought about that. That's actually
you never know about that one?
I didn't know about that. Very
basic thing.
Yeah.
It's what?
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, the neck band's good, but what's better? If you tie a towel to some weights, with the towel in your mouth.
Yeah, but you mess up your teeth. That's what the tie do. It's Muay Thai fighters, but that can mess up your teeth.
When that's why we have the head. Yeah, I was gonna say, I found it this weekend when we were cleaning. And I was like, oh shit, it's still here. I thought someone stole it.
It's all dusty though, so we'll have to clean it up. Let me ask one more. I want to ask about the bunny hop. So, are bunny hops a good exercise for judo, or is it dangerous for your knees?
I do not know what bunny hops are.
Also known as squat jumps or tuck jumps, can be a beneficial exercise for developing lower body power and explosive strength, which are important attributes in judo. However, they do place some stress on the knees and can potentially be risky if not performed correctly or if you have pre-existing knee issues. To minimize the risk of knee injury while performing bunny hops or similar exercises, consider the following tips. 1. Proper technique. Ensure proper landing mechanics by landing softly and absorbing the impact with a slight bend in the knees. Avoid excessive knee valgus, inward collapse, or hyperextension during the jumps. 2. Gradual progression. Start with lower intensity and gradually increase the difficulty and intensity of the exercise over time. This allows your body to adapt and strengthen the necessary muscles and connective tissues. 3. Listen to your body. If you experience pain or discomfort in your knees while performing bunny hops, it's important to stop and assess the situation. Consult with a qualified coach or healthcare professional who can evaluate your technique and provide guidance specific to your situation. 4.
I'll wait till he's done.
Modify as needed. If bunny hops are causing discomfort or you have concerns about your knees, you can consider alternative exercises that target similar muscle groups without as much impact on the knees.
Squats.
Examples include box jumps, step-ups, or explosive lunges.
Yeah.
Ultimately, the suitability of bunny hops or any exercise for your judo training depends on your individual circumstances and any.
Yeah, so I actually, after we recorded an episode about what exercise we probably should stop doing, the bunny hop was one thing I asked my PT, my sports PT about it, right?
Yeah.
Because they're the experts, right? Kinesiology doctors. And he says as long as it doesn't hurt, like he doesn't think it's bad, and also with like Jake just said, correct technique. But the problem is, like, back to what we said in that episode, a lot of instructors just copy what other instructors did, or they ignore the pain and just keep doing it. So I think it's safer to just not do it, basically. But he's saying that it's not bad as long as it doesn't hurt.
Yeah, you have to do proper technique with it. It's like, if you do it easy, like just, I want to say like nonchalantly, but like not so intense, put it that way. You don't do it super intense, like just regular hops. It's fine, but you're not. In practice, you're going to be tired. You're going to be going intense, you're going to go hard, so you're going to jump hard, land hard. It's also usually done as a warm up, right? Yeah.
It's usually done as a warm up before you're warm. And you're also usually doing it in a line, making you go a certain distance and at a certain speed, because you have to not hold up the line and you have to go fast, kind of thing. So all those things just is asking for injury. So I think it's, like, again, we said it before and afterwards that it's can be done safely, but I think it's safer to just not do it because of all the ways that it can go wrong. So
all right. So my last question is going to be a two-parter. One, let's ask, what are the best exercises for judo? Or do you want to ask, what are the best weightlifting exercises for judo?
Okay. And those are the two questions?
Yeah. Like, what do you think?
Okay.
Do you think you ask those two? Or let's ask those two.
Okay. Jake, what are the best exercises for judo?
There are various exercises that can benefit judo practitioners by improving strength, power, agility, and overall conditioning. Here are a few exercises commonly incorporated into judo training. 1. Squats. Squats help develop lower body strength, particularly in the quadriceps, hamstrings, and glutes. They can be done with body weight, barbells, or other weighted variations. 2. Deadlifts. Deadlifts are excellent for strengthening the posterior chain, including the lower back, glutes, and hamstrings. They can improve explosiveness and grip strength. 3. Push-ups. Push-ups target the chest, shoulders, and triceps, providing upper body strength and stability. Variations like diamond push-ups or plyometric push-ups can add intensity. 4. Pull-ups. Pull-ups strengthen the upper back, biceps, and grip. They enhance pulling power and can be done with various grips, such as wide, narrow, or chin-ups. 5. Core exercises. Planks, Russian twists, and bicycle crunches are examples of exercises that strengthen the core, improving stability and rotational power. 6. Agility ladder drills. Agility ladder drills enhance footwork, coordination, and quickness. They can be used to simulate dynamic movements commonly seen in judo. 7. Medicine ball throws. Medicine ball throws, such as overhead throws or rotational throws, improve explosive power.
It's underrated. I like doing it, but you have to have a partner to do it with.
You have to have a wall you don't destroy.
Plyometric exercises, box jumps, lateral hops, or depth.
All right.
So box jumps and ladder. Okay.
Yeah. So this coincides with like basically most. How to say it? Like it's basically proven that the standard, tried and true proven exercises work the best, right? You don't have to do like, what was that Instagram video we saw, like the guy using a kettlebell, like
you want to call the guy out? You want to call the guy out, man. The guy, he had a kettlebell in one hand.
I don't want anyone seeing that and copying it, basically.
Yeah, he had a kettlebell in one hand and he had a dumbbell in the other hand. And he's trying to simulate throws with them. People are just like, you get there's people when they're like, oh man, that's so great, that's so cool, and you gotta be like, you idiot, you're gonna throw out your shoulder, you're gonna destroy your wrist. And it's like, yeah, it's dumb. You do what your Komi bands. Get a throwing dummy. You don't need to do this with like people with weights on you like that. That's so.
You'll see a lot of people posting, especially online, about like, oh, what exercises are good to improve my Kazushi or like this or that. It's just, dude, get stronger overall. It'll also help you with injuries and stuff like that. So that's okay. The other part, you said weightlifting, right?
Yeah.
So,
what's the best weightlifting exercises for judo?
Do you want to limit how many, like best 3 or best 4?
Top 5.
All right. Jake, what are the top 5 weightlifting exercises that's good for judo?
Processing.
He was like looking for cheat sheet.
Weightlifting exercises for judo. It's important to focus on compound movements that engage multiple muscle groups and mimic the demands of the sport. Here are 5 weightlifting exercises that can be beneficial for judo practitioners. 1. Squats. Squats are a fundamental exercise that targets the lower body, particularly the quadriceps, hamstrings, and glutes. They help develop leg strength and power, which is crucial for explosive movements in judo. 2. Deadlifts. Deadlifts strengthen the posterior chain, including the lower back, glutes, and hamstrings. They improve overall strength, grip strength, and help with explosive hip extension, which is essential for throwing techniques. 3. Clean and jerk. This Olympic lift combines a powerful clean, lifting the barbell from the ground to the shoulders, and a jerk, driving the barbell overhead. It develops full-body explosive power, coordination, and stability, which are valuable attributes in judo. 4. Bench press. While judo primarily focuses on lower body engagement, upper body strength is still important. The bench press targets the chest, shoulders, and triceps, improving pushing power and upper body stability. 5. Bent over rows. Bent over rows target the back muscles, including the lats, rhomboids, and rear deltoids. They strengthen the pulling muscles of the upper body, which are essential for grip strength and throwing techniques.
Yeah.
Okay.
I totally agree. Only thing is, recent literature has shown that deadlifts is not good for you, basically, especially if you lift heavy.
Well, the thing is, like, I'm not a deadlift guy, but I will admit I do love flipping tires, and that basically is a deadlift. you know?
Yeah.
Well, flipping the tires, it's in between deadlift and a clean and jerk, kind of, because you flip the tire and push it over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But basically, I personally stopped doing deadlifts because I think it does. I just follow whatever recent.
But you love sumo squats.
I don't love sumo squats. I hate them.
I thought you loved sumo squats.
No, I hate
your
them.
favorite thing to do.
No, I hate
That's
them.
why I see you do them all the time.
I never do them.
I see you do them all the time.
I never do them. But I replaced deadlifts with RDLs, the remaining deadlifts, stiff leg deadlifts, whatever you call it, same thing pretty much. And the clean and jerk is definitely really good. But I think personally, it's a highly technical movement that you need a coach to coach you on. Otherwise, you can get seriously injured.
And destroy your shoulders, destroy your arms.
Yeah, I actually was trying to teach myself clean and jerk in college, and that's how I pulled my back, and I was on muscle relaxants for a few months. So, yeah, just otherwise, everything else I totally agree with. Well,
all right.
So
well, tell Jake thank you, and tell him we really appreciate him helping us out today.
Jake, thank you for answering all the questions. We really appreciate you.
You are welcome. I'm glad I could help. If you have any more questions or need further assistance, feel free to ask. I'm here to assist you.
Would you be interested in becoming the next head instructor for Hollywood Judo Dojo?
As much as I appreciate the offer, I must clarify that I am a digital guide and not a physical being. While I can provide guidance and information about judo, I am unable to physically instruct or take up a position as a head instructor.
Would you like to teach kids class?
We can just put him up on the TV screen, make him bald, and name him Philippe, and then that way we'll always have Philippe available.
We'll record Philippe talking a bunch and just install him. Get a picture of him.
All right, so that's it.
So again, for anyone that's interested, what program do we use to do this?
I think it is called Soul Machines. Yeah.
All right. So this Soulless Machine was brought to you by
Soulless Machine.
Was brought to you by Soul Machine. So this is something we try to do. We might bring this on more as the technology gets better. We're trying this out, just trying something different. And this stuff is just it does research online. It just pulls whatever it gets from the internet and just spouts it out. Like what's the most popular, what's the most common.
As I said, it only has information up until 2021. So
2021. Yeah.
That's the older version of ChatGPT then, I think. So
yeah. All right. So with that, please remember to like, share, and subscribe. You can follow me at @Jerry_1. You follow Anthony Throws, both on Instagram. You can follow us on Instagram itself at Tatami Talk. You can follow us on YouTube, on YouTube at Tatami Talk. We're putting some short videos up there. Hopefully people are liking them, bringing some of their old stuff back, making it short so people can rewatch them. It's pretty interesting. We have some viewer questions that we will get to soon enough. I know we had a couple while Anthony was gone. We have some on the website and some on the YouTube. So we might be bringing those episodes up as well soon. But yeah, and we might be doing our Patreon soon. So be excited to see our feet pics soon. All right. No, we're not putting feet pics out there. I swear to God, I'm not putting a goddamn feet pic out there. But yeah, remember, you can send us emails, questions at tatamitalk@gmail.com. Remember, things you ask any question, things you want to say we like, things you didn't like about us. Just hit us up. Anthony loves reading your emails. He loves it. It's his favorite thing to do. All right. He loves that interaction. All right.
Yeah.
And with that, is there anything else I'm forgetting? Oh, and Threads. We are on Threads, which I see a little bit of interaction on.
I don't check Threads.
I see a little bit of interaction on Threads, but still not a lot. And I'm not going to next because I ain't going in that dumpster fire. So, is there anything else I'm forgetting?
That's it.
All right. So with that, do you want to ask Jake to sign us out or what?
I don't want to wait for him to respond. That's okay.
All right. So with that, don't forget to
ask AI some judo questions, I guess, and slap the net. Yeah.
All right.